Alright, we're gonna cast a submitted game here. Deniz, he sent me this recorded game because he felt he was being out of the box thinking and innovative, so he felt it's very worthwhile to cast, and that's what we're gonna do here. Let's have a look at Deniz's point of view first and foremost here with the Franks for this one. So most common play with Franks, scouts into knights and later on paladins and whatever, and then yeah, throwing axemen if you need them against enemy pikemen, and you could also use your cheap castles to your advantage to take map control. So let's see what Deniz is up to here. Obviously the pretty common start here, scouting a little bit with sheep and the scout, and now struggling a little bit for food at home, missing a sheep under TC. But yeah, the standard 6 on sheep, next one goes to wood, going to see 3 or 4 on wood here before we see what's going on. Now the Deniz is up against Cumans here, which is also a strong cavalry civ. The Cumans paladins are actually quickest in the game. They have, let's see, they have 5% movement speed per age, I think. So cavalry 5% faster each egg starting in feudal age. So essentially, as they don't get husbandry, obviously that would be pretty crazy. But as opposed to Franks, for example, cavalry move 10% faster. So in Imperial Age should have 15% faster paladins for Cumans and only 10% for Franks. So we'll see how this progresses. I think we're just gonna fast forward a little bit because the Dark Age not really much to mention. We could talk a little bit about the maps here. 2 back stones, that's good for Frank's castle actually. Back berries as well, less subject to early aggression in case the Cumans player goes for a rush to support their fast castle here. But I think the Cumans player will likely try to wall off and just pull off that second TC and start the feudal age boom, as is quite common with Cumans. They can build their second TC in feudal age. Going for the berries now, eating 1 boar as well, and going to make some preemptive walls on the woodlands. You never know, Cumans is a cavalry civ, so you could happen to see Cumans go for scouts as well. It has happened throughout history. You see 7 on wood total here for Kartnak. Seems like they're both keeping production up. No loom yet for either of them, unless Kartnak did go for it. No. So yeah, pretty similar production here in Deniz with 1 more overall though, and yeah, a little bit less idle time overall at home here. Middling the deer for some extra food income, good for Franks as well. Looks like Deniz is aiming for, I think he might still go scouts, but maybe 22 pop scouts here, or 21, we'll see about the food count here. Straight Fat's castle seems rather risky here, but we'll see what the action will bring here. Here comes the barracks, and feudal age on the way, yes, with 22 pop here, as is customary for us good old wobbly players. With Franks you can justify even down to 19 population scouts if you feel like it. I've even gone men at arms with Franks with like 20 pop men at arms. You can do that because of the early food boost from berries and everything. But significantly earlier feudal age time for Deniz and his 40 skirms here. That's a play on Deniz using wordplay on Deniz using 40 skirms in 2v2 team games with our friends. So it's kind of an internal humor thingy. Here comes the stable. Scouts go out. Cumans player not nearly full walled yet. Goes for the barracks for defensive purposes. And Deniz is floating quite a bit of food here after an... Okay, so you thought you'd been lame, so that's why you went for the hunt. Okay, makes sense. Oh, scouts running into TC fire here. F for scouts. 2 scouts down to the mighty Cumans TC here. But at least call some idle time on the other side here. No second TC yet for Kartnak. His wood situation certainly seems to allow it though, but probably a little bit stressed out of the forward from Deniz here. Some very weird walls here, but I'm assuming this is to keep the scouts' aggression out, so these were quick gates. Scouts and tower. Towers, question mark, not on stone yet for Deniz, but it's going to be at least one tower and committing 3 villagers to get this one up on Kartnak's woodline. So yeah, alright, decent choice here to go for the tower, whereas the Cumans player will go for a second TC anyway, and actually can go to put this one on goal, and Deniz's scouts are on point here, 3 scouts to deny the villagers of this second TC. Actually doesn't start building it, that's good, otherwise Deniz could hit the foundation and maybe get the lucky hit and eliminate the TC at very low HP here. Chasing the villager, almost getting a kill, and now dodging because of the spear. Using one scout to debate the spearman here, sending the others in to contest the situation here. That's 2 scouts versus 1 spear. Could work, no upgrades on the spearman, but in the end doesn't work. So that's 3 more scouts down for Mr. Umbut Deniz here. See, my scoreboard needs an update as well, we'll fix that later on. So second TC, no significant battle events just yet. A few more scouts coming Kartnak's way and trying to, well, did delay the second TC for quite a bit here. Kartnak is with a population lead but is down in villagers, so I think that's mainly given here for defensive purposes for Kartnak. Tower goes up on the woodline, so Kartnak will struggle a little bit for wood here, which is not ideal considering that they are with 2 TCs. And here comes the blacksmith stable, going to try and contest the enemy scouts here. Now that's particularly a bit of a large wood investment early on here, because if you're going for the 2 TCs with humans, you want as much wood as possible to sustain your wood production, and you want to get horse collar obviously early and just drop lots of farms to have a stronger cast age, and Kartnak isn't really playing into that too much right now. Even the feudal siege workshop going to deal with this tower, I presume. I mean, it could be put into use later. Cumans have access to cap trams, so in the castle age, so that's certainly a play to deal with enemy production. Only 1 tower for Deniz, no 3 villagers idling forward. Might be coming to good use later, but for now they're not really doing too much. I see Deniz has gone to stone. Stone here has stone for almost 2 more towers, and is going to continue the towers forward to try and take Kartnak off another woodland. Good map reading by Deniz. Knowing about these 2 woodlines, knowing there's a last one over here, and has some scouts to back it. 4 military for both players. I think if Deniz drops the tower here, he will reach most of the woodland and could also quick wall in the builders next to the trees if needed. Scout for scout, that's a Frank scout. It has more HP, no problem whatsoever. Here comes another tower. Does Kartnak see this? Oh, it doesn't. It's just outside the line of sight. With Town Watch, he might actually be able to spot it. But maybe suspecting something here. And there we go. Gets a little bit lucky here, Kartnak. I think this tower will be denied, actually. Yeah, at least causing some idle time here shouldn't be an issue for a Cumans player with double TC production, no, but none of the TCs are producing at the moment, even with the food and gold in here. I think Kartnak may be aiming for a bit earlier cast age here. It has the buildings needed, actually, so might as well just click up or commit to more villagers production. Scout on point for Deniz to deal with this ram. I don't even know where this ram is going, because the tower is over there. Might be aiming for the foundation here just to make sure that doesn't go up, but I'm not sure what's happening here, honestly. Let's go back to Deniz's point of view. He is still in the feudal age, is getting close to that cast age click, and has lots of gold in the bank to support whatever going into the next age here. Tower is still up on the wood line, so that's going to be out of bounds for Kartnak for a while longer. Still no castle age click, there it is, no, but not for Deniz yet. Missing 20 food here, and it's going to be actually almost 40% behind the opponent here to the castle age. Using the stray scouts to scout a little bit of the rest of the map here is good. A couple of feudal age battering rams here, just going to move in here to take out this tower. So the tower is down, allowing for another TC to maybe go up on this woodline if needed for Karnak in the Castle Age. Deniz with roughly 20 farms should have no problem going into multiple stable knights here. Could drop another stable with the wood accessible here, but goes for... I don't even know what was happening here. Yeah, skirmishers. Well, knights, skirms, scout skirms, that's a good addition. Your skirmishers will be able to target enemy pikemen and take them out with ease, except for the minimum range. Double ranges here for Deniz. And yeah, still one stable Castle Age not in just yet, but we'll probably see some knights as well, given the food and gold count. And now only with 2 on gold though, unless Deniz has merged somewhere. Going to drop a TC on this gold, good, securing some side golds here, and another range goes up. Meanwhile, we see mainly villagers production for Karnak here. It's a significant villager lead for now for the Cumans player. Has a couple of rams, could go into Captram here to take out some enemy buildings as the game moves on, but for now just keeping them home, I guess. Yep, it's indeed knights, but from the ranges we have Frank Cav Archers. Now that's not something you see every day. You see from the gold setup here, 7 on gold and probably a couple more over here. Frank's Cav Archers, granted they have bloodlines. Never mind, or do they? No, actually they don't. Cavalry hit points. Okay, so it doesn't apply to Cav Archers apparently. They only have 60 HP. So let's have a look here. So that's Cavalry Archer. Franks get Heavy Cavalry Archer, but we're missing Thumbring, and yeah, we're actually gonna get Chemistry, so that's good for the Imperial Age here, and Ballistics as well, obviously. But missing Thumbring is huge for Cav Archer. Missing Parthian Tactics, not as huge, but still an upgrade you want to get if you go into Heavy Cav Archers in the end. 10 military against 6 for Deniz here though, a mix of scouts and skirms and a Cav Archer here with the +1, missing that Bodkin Arrow as well for now. That at least is something that Franks have. We have Bodkin Arrow and the Castle Age armor, but going into the Imperial Age, no Bracer, no Ring Archer armor, so Franks Cav Archers being pretty shitty overall. Alright, so Cavalry Archers apparently benefit from Bloodlines. Let's see. Cavalry Archer of Cumans, for example, has 50 HP, whereas the Franks one has 60. Okay. Oh well, so somewhere in the middle between generic Cav Archers and Cav Archers with Bloodlines then. True AI army moving forward here. We have 3 skirms, 2 knights, 2 Cavalry Archers, and 2 scouts here. Full feudal age upgrades in for the knights, but nothing past that. The skirmishers have armor and fletching. We're also missing Bodkin Arrow, but a second cavalry armor and Bodkin Arrow for the attack is on the way in here. Karnak meanwhile has a little bit of presence to the north, has been scouting a little bit with a pikeman. Not really stressing the scouting here, almost doesn't know anything about Deniz's location here. A defensive castle goes up. The nice castle from Karnak here is going to cover both DCs and the gold and the stone here, but also suggesting that Karnak may be going into the kipchak play here. So we might actually be seeing Cumans kipchaks against Frank's Cav Archers here as the game moves on. Alright, running into enemy base here, idling 2 TCs, great value for Deniz. Actually, he's idling 24 villagers, rendering Deniz in the effective villager lead here, all in all. Taking some damage to the armies, obviously. I don't see any continued Cav Archers production here for the time being. No army whatsoever. We have 2 TCs producing villagers, and that's about it for Deniz right now. Whereas Karnak is finally getting wheelbarrow and producing villagers out of the other TC at the same time. The Pwn, hello, nice to see you. How are you? Is it Pwn or Pony? Oh, you're the Beast Jurgen. Alright. New name, same person. Alright. Sounds cool. Didn't you used to be called the Beast Jurgen on Twitch as well? Alright, continued Frank's Cav Archers play here. We might even see them all the way to Elite here. I would change your name overall. Alright, cool. Variation is nice for sure. So forward castle here for Deniz with the Franks. That's a good one. Covers the TC here. The issue being that Cumans could easily get into cap trams here and try and take down the castle. There is the issue of throwing axemen though that would deal with rams somewhat easily. But if you have the numbers still, and I think the Cumans eco could support it potentially. Very, very much gold in the bank here for the Cumans player, unfortunately. But buy that 300 food, get into Captram, get a few more out with your woods and golds, and these castles are history. 4 buildings shouldn't be a threat to Cumans with that Captram access. So it's the Pwn or the Pony? It's not a Y, so I'm guessing it's the Pwn, but... Throwing X-Men even in the mix. Deniz makes every unit in the game here is going to take out 1 Cuman TC here and adding some rams, or a ram at least, from the siege workshop here. Axemen are sort of infantry as well. They have a ranged melee attack, so you could garrison throwing axemen into the rams for the rams to move faster and for some protection for the throwing axemen moving forward. Now it's all in all a good forward with the AI army of Deniz here. He's going to be subject to some kipchak raids soon here, and even step lancers. We don't see those all too much these days. Looks to be like Bloodlines is in. Kipchak have 40 HP before Bloodlines. Now they have 60, and same with the Step Lancer with 80 HP overall here. 17 units ready to move forward and take a hit on Deniz's economy though. Roughly equal villager numbers here. I'm surprised not to see Deniz going for another TC, considering that he is... in most cases, this is going to be behind Cumans with their early 2 TCs, but... with all that idle time caused by Deniz in his opponent's base, the villager numbers are actually pretty equal here. But kipchak raids really causing trouble here for Deniz. Still eco in the bank though, and going for these Cav Archers. Let's see. Looks like Cav Archer wins 1-on-1 against the Step Lancers actually, so that's useful to know. Fighting back with villagers here. That's a brave woman. F for that one. Going down with a valiant effort to protect her town. We have lots of blue in the enemy base. And see here, 4 battering rams from Deniz here. I'm going to try and take out this Cumans castle. Has some throwing axemen inside as well, but camels and step lancers on the alert here to take out these rams for this. This mangonel needs to be dealt with as well. There is a forward TC, says Deniz. There it is, but it's not up yet. But yeah, I get it. Fending off nicely at home as well, okay. Cavalry Archers versus kipchak confirmed, but these kipchaks are far from upgraded. They're lacking all the defense upgrades, and they're also lacking their Botkin arrow, so they are pretty darn weak, to be honest. They have bloodlines though, that helps out a little bit. Karnak saves his castle here, Deniz's castle stay up as well, so Karnak isn't able to push them back easily here. Now aiming for some of the production with a mangonel here, and a forward TC with farms and woodlines here for Deniz. Taking some map control here on his enemy's side, and sneaking away. Karnak probably doesn't even see this in the back here. There is indeed pretty even builders here, and Deniz is with more military, at the expense of the Cumans player being on the way to the Imperial Age, though. Deniz moving forward with some knights and cav archers again. Again, flank cav archers here. They have 6+2+2. They have the armor and attack that they get, and let's see if ballistics is in here. Not yet. Why no ballistics, Deniz? No university actually for the Franks player just yet, so no opportunity to research ballistics, something that Kartnok doesn't have for his kipchaks either. Missing a lot of upgrades on these kipchaks. Don't see any of them right now. Here we go. Still only fetching no armor and no ballistics. Then it says he forgot ballistics, so that explains it. Another forward here to deny the monastery at least. Why not deny the university as well while you're at it? Yeah. We don't want to fight under TC fire, obviously. $15 army over here, so cast still standing, some throwing axemen being added as well, or they're just chilling out here, missing some most of the upgrades though, not too many infantry upgrades to talk about here. Battering rams inside the siege workshop here, both of them actually, and then he's still pretty far away from that Imperial Age click though, so once Kartnak reaches Imperial Age now, should be in a good spot to push, even though being actually surprisingly enough being behind in economy here. And here comes the Franks cheaper castles again. Lots of villagers going forward to build this castle. I think we were at 13 villagers committing to this castle, and Kartnak should be sensing that one going up. It's not exactly hidden, to say the least. A little bit of raiding here as well. Castle will definitely go up and challenge this TC, because the castle, since there are characters in play here, has Bodkin arrow and +2 range and more damage output overall. So nothing garrison inside this town center. Easy to take that out with whatever you feel like here. Maybe even just the castle is enough here, because there's nothing inside to protect or repair this building. The villagers sneak away though, so Deniz failed to acknowledge that the villagers were fleeing. Those could be addressed with some just a few knights to run after them and take them out as well. Kipchak masters are back. We have Bodkin arrow in now, I believe, and the first armor. And here comes the university for Deniz. So cav archers play, usually you'd want to get ballistics and thumbring preferably rather early. But here it comes, and we're going to be seeing ballistics researched, and Deniz should try and aim for that Imperial Age soon, because his opponent is in Imperial Age, will have trebs out, will deal with the castles most likely over here, unless Deniz somehow miraculously repairs those. He has lots of stone in the bank to support castles repairs here though. Kartnak has taken a woodland to the side here, just expanding for what it's worth to either side here, and going to try and get back on track eco-wise. But look at the villager counts here. Deniz admittedly still in castle age, but with almost 40 more villagers, so he's gonna bring in more resources for long run. Kartnak is floating quite a bit of resources here, none on gold for the time being though. Not taking this gold, not taking this gold, and the main goal is run out with 17 villagers idling here. Kipchak's doing work now. Let's see if Kartnak has ballistics and these kinds of things. Ballistics is in, so are the Bodkin arrow, missing the last armor and missing thumbring, which is crucial for the mounted shooting units. But Kipchaks fire rather quickly anyway, so maybe not something you'd prioritize rushing. You'd really want that second armor once you can get it though, because the Kipchaks are really weak with their low HP to begin with. Dealing nicely with siege show, getting some raids in here on Deniz's very forward TC. As you can see from ballistics, hitting quite a few of the shots here. Deniz meanwhile has some knights on the field over here. I'm missing now 400 food and 300 gold to get up to the next stage. And let's see what comes next. Kartnak is in the Imperial Age and has miraculously some eco to back the elite kipchak upgrade here. Is floating out some food and struggling for other resources for the time being. Down almost 40 villagers again. But Treb is doing work trying to take out the castles here, and another one is coming in. And you'd have kipchaks here to defend, and even against +2 knights, the fast firing right of these basically true Cumans horses, you just focused on knights, and now probably the cav archers with ease as well, since you have more attack output now. It's still less than the cavalry archers actually, but the faster firing rate and the hit and run potential is playing a role here as well. Kartnak has failed to address Deniz's base for a long while though. Deniz is mining gold freely with 17 miners here, would benefit from another mining camp next to there maybe. Has 2 TCs here, 3 actually, 1 in the back here, and still the very forward one by the woodland here. So it's going to be a fight for resources in the end and who can do most damage to the enemy, but it's 40 villagers lead for Deniz, so he's no matter his technology disadvantage here being in cast stage, he has military presence on the field and has a huge villager lead, so population actually in the lead for Deniz here. Some villagers running to the middle of nowhere over here. I'm not sure what the plan is. Going for this neutral gold maybe? Nope, Deniz doesn't know about that one. Wants some wood over here maybe to make use of these stray villagers. Kipchaks and Trebs have taken out the forward castle. They're going to take out the forward range as well. No more forward cav archers from here. But Deniz, see all this blue on the map, taking the neutral resources here and committing to this cav archers play. It's 22% Imperial Age now, so he's also going to follow up that with maybe heavy cav archer if we can get around to it. I'm looking at Kartnak's eco, floating lots of food, but only with 13 on food, so not going to see any hussar spam here anytime soon. Second knight's armor is coming in just now for Kartnak, and also going into the second defense for the elite kipchak finally. Tower on the woodland for Deniz here. He did see some wood being taken here by the Cumans player, won't have any of it. And looking at the stone output here, Deniz still with good potential to take some map control of the castles. So stone here, where's the castle going up now? Alright, going up at home here for defensive purposes against raids. Meanwhile we have, is that Cuman mercenaries maybe for Kartnak? I think it is. And that's going to give him 10 free kipchaks in his one of his castles. And also for the teammates, if he had any, but it doesn't. 5 Trebs now pushing, and TC will go down. It's still a military lead for Kartnak, and it is now elite kipchak. And more kipchak going to come from the way once that unique tech kicks in. Meanwhile, Deniz is going into Parthian tactics for the... Wait, is that? No, of course not. It's heavy cav archers, sorry. Franks don't get Parthian tactics. It's going to be heavy cav archers for that Franks player here. Yo, Palm! How are you this Sunday, mister? We have a threatening mass of elite kipchaks here. 34 elite kipchaks against 24 Frank cav archers. But note the HP here. 72 for the heavy cav archer, 65 for the elite kipchak, and elite kipchak using a raiding potential there, going to take Deniz completely off gold here, losing quite a few villagers. Still 30 villagers lead though. Heavy cav archers +2 armor only get that castle edge armor. I believe Cumans get the last one as well. Doing swell, that's good. Alright, Kartnak wants to focus down this mining camp, doesn't want to have any mining potential here for Deniz, so chooses to focus down this building. Tower denying this wood line, lots of red on the left side of the map, but it's mainly wood and seems like a bit of a weirdly disposed eco here, with not nearly enough on farms as you'd usually see for Cumans to go into hussar spam with their super fast hussars, or other kinds of mounted units. Lots of resources not being spent here for Karnak, although he has the score lead. That could be kills playing in here with 142 to 88 kills and overall military numbers. Trebs not being used to push. Karnak still doesn't know too much about Deniz's home base here. So let's see what's coming here. Cavaliers and heavy cavalries now. Frank's heavy cavalries, people. We don't see them a lot. 30 villagers lead for Deniz still. Has some wood over here, has some gold to be taken at home. Did lose access to this one, but was mining quite a bit of it. And all in all, should be looking at a decent flowing eco here, considering all the upgrades kicking in as well for Deniz. We're getting hoardings for the castles, they will be stronger, and then also masonry to strengthen all buildings here. Cavalier in the mix could be going into Paladin here as well once the eco permits for Deniz. We'll have to deal with this mass of kipchaks though, which is going to be a bit of an issue. But let's see how heavy cavalries of Franks trade with this. Looks like they're 2 or 3 shotting the kipchaks here, and with the hill advantage, of course, dealing more damage. Looks like full patrol here with the cavaliers to try and snipe the Trebs here as well. And now chasing decent trade for Deniz. I'm beginning to think that the Cumans kipchaks are missing something here, or maybe they are just shit, who knows. Cavalier as a meat shield here against the kipchaks. It's going to take the kipchaks quite a bit to take out the Cavalier, and Frank's cavalry is behind, dealing with both villagers and military numbers here. Let's look at the actual military numbers of 50 to 18 right now. And Deniz should be looking at a healthier eco setup overall here, in terms of what composition is going for. Frank's cavalry, indeed, it pains me to see it, but it even seems to be working. He did take out quite a lot of kipchaks here. It is a 7 hit points difference after all, so Frank's masterpiece confirmed. Deniz had a little small forward base here as well, with a couple of castles, but they went down, so now these stones and golds are up for grabs. Karnak going heavily into monasteries here. Probably wants to convert the enemy units and getting herbal medicine to heal up units quicker in the castles. Oh, that's gonna be fun to see the effect of, actually. Let's see this. Look at this HP just boosting up. If you have research herbal medicine, your units heal up 6 times faster inside the castle. So he's going to look at fully healed kipchaks here in just a moment. No bracer, no armor, no tumbling, indeed. Heavy cavalry with castle age upgrades exclusively. Karnak trades for a sneaky forward castle here, and then this is 4 wood choppers. Will denied it with his mobility of the Franks cavalry here. Less upgrades equals better cavalry. Change my mind. I don't think anyone can change your mind, Deniz, but I'm never going to go for them myself. It's only you and myself who does these kinds of things, Deniz. Kipchak numbers growing again. Elite kipchaks freshly healed from the castle. We have 18 full HP kipchaks here, which should admittedly be used. We have been used much more actively earlier on, looking at this very, very exposed farm eco of Deniz and his 40 skirms here. Even the woodline over here. And to some extent this woodline as well, though with a tower to protect it. We have some cavaliers and cavalries, and I think light cav as well. No, elite skirm and light cav. AI army confirmed. And Paladin now on the way for Deniz here. Meanwhile, we see Karnak going into Elite Skirm. I don't see that helping out too much here, considering that there will be Paladins on the field soon enough. Military 75 to 31 here. And 9 monks won't be making too much of a difference in the long run here, considering that cavalry could, with their range, hopefully snipe the monks. Missing, don't have any range upgrade here for the monks. I'm not sure if Cumans even get that. A little bit of paladin raids to the side here. They should be almost fully upgraded paladins, only missing the last attack upgrade. 22 Franks cavalries here. taking out the outpost like it was nothing. Here are the monks, but with patrolling the cav archers here, you take out most of the monks here, I think. Yeah, and kipchaks can't do much against the paladins. Of course, they fire fast, but you need much larger groups to deal with equal numbers, or deal with these numbers of paladins with kipchaks. 75 military to 2 here, and Deniz is somehow dominating this game with a combination of Franks, cav archers, and paladins. You just... It's a combination you'll probably never see again, unless Deniz goes for it, for more of his 1v1s. A couple of barracks going up here. Kartnak wants to desperately go into the halberdiers here. He has a food eco to sustain it, maybe struggling a bit for wood, but there we go. What I want is a 200 IQ player indeed, yes. So walling in the castle up here, but guess what? Kartnak is going to be able to complete it because there's an opening here. 84, 85. Deniz with the raids down here. Cap trams in as well. That's also going to soak kipchak fire if they enter the field. It's 82 to 2 military now, but at least a castle going up on the woodline here from Kartnak. Oh, bye-bye, villager. And we see a flare. That's probably Kartnak flaring it, or Deniz, I don't know. Alright, so denying this single woodland on the sign, not the gold, and then it's just response with a siege workshop up here. Lots of map control for Deniz now. So much blue on the map, score lead by 3,000, and 80 more military than the opponent here. This is certainly going Deniz's way. Bomber cannons being added as well. Chemistry already in for the cav archers, obviously, or for the potential of bomber cannons as well. Then it's flared and typed, but the typing should show up here. This is a recorded game, so that's weird. That doesn't show up. Monasteries will go down here to bomber cannons and capped rams, and we'll be looking at a potential GG very soon here. Barracks going up for Kartnak in the north as well, not wanting to give up this one with the Cumans here, but seems to be losing a lot of ground here. And yep, paladins, capped rams, and bomber cannons here firing away to TC. Bye-bye, Cumans TC. I think that might be the last TC that Kartnak has at all. Yep, no TC is confirmed. Kartnak with 2 military, 85 military against him, and down to less than half of Deniz's villagers here. And GG, but it shows that Kartnak has resigned though, so I'm hoping that Deniz actually got the points for this one, but someone actually disconnected from this game. That's also possibly why we're not seeing a GG here. 2 tribes, probably the last army Kartnak has, those 2 ones, and Deniz dominating with his AI army mix here. Let's have a look. 6,000 more score in the end. Largest army 87. And here we go with the wood and woodstone gold collected. Enemy altar fort, yeah, could be. I would have done the same thing if I died to Frank's cav archers. 3 relics for Deniz, and yeah, army lead by far in the end here.